What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me. We're back here. We just had a video a little while ago talking about Michael Pittman Jr. and all the guys that got tagged, the guys that didn't get franchise tagged. And as we get closer to free agency, right? Free agency starts March 11th. That is this upcoming Monday. So with it fast approaching, free agency right around the corner, I want to go ahead and talk about some guys that I think the Colts could go after, right? Things have changed with some of these guys that got franchise tagged. Some of the things have changed of who we might go after, how we might build the roster with the guys that are available. So what I was looking at from the offensive standpoint, you're looking at wide receivers. And of the available wide receivers and the market and the kind of guys that are out there, right? Like Calvin Ridley might be like the guy that's going to get the most out of everybody that's out there right now. And I just don't think that's worth it for the Colts. So you look at the other guys that are available and guys that would bring an explosive element to the Colts offense like Chris Ballard wants. Looking at guys like Curtis Samuel, Marquise Brown, who's had number one experience, not the greatest number one, but he has that experience and can do a lot of things. Gabe Davis, Jawan Jennings, who looked very good for the San Francisco 49ers, and then Darnell Mooney, who's been up and down in his career with the Bears, but he is going to be a free agent. Okay, then you look at the defensive side of things. The names that I came up with here for edge rushers, we're still looking at the Neil Hunter, guy that I really like. Chase Young is going to be on this list, somebody that at least a name to be brought up, right? And then you have Danico Autry, former Colt, went to the Titans, had a good time with the Titans, now available again. Will the Colts bring him back, and what might that price be if they did that? And a guy that I never thought I'd say let's bring to the Colts, but Jadeveon Clowney, who over the last few seasons of his career has surprised me. He's become more consistent. It seems like he's become more well-rounded as an edge rusher and being able to do all the different things that he's going to be asked to do. So I think those are the guys from an edge rusher standpoint that we could look at. Then when you look at the secondary, okay, there are a lot of really good safeties available, including Julian Blackman. Do we just bring Julian Blackman back, or do we go after some of these other guys? The names include Kevin Byard. We're very familiar with Kevin Byard, a very good safety. Obviously, everything with the Eagles didn't really work out, so that trade for the Eagles didn't really work out. They release him. Kevin Byard is available. Quandre Diggs also available. Presumably, just because the Seahawks want to try to go young, they release Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams. So I would expect that that's just a move where they're trying to get younger. They know what they want to do. They know what they have in the future. And Quandre Diggs is trying to go somewhere where he can win right now. So is that an option for the Colts? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, somebody I really like. I've always liked Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So we'll see if Colts try to make a run at him and what his price is going to be this upcoming year. Deshaun Elliott, a good safety for the Dolphins. And then Xavier McKinney, guy that we talked about just a little while ago, a guy that did not get franchise tagged by the Giants, and he's going to be available. So a lot of safeties and a lot of options because Nick Cross can play either one. So a lot of options here for the Colts and what they could do. Again, Julian Blackman is on that list as a potential guy that we bring back for that safety position. And then when you look at cornerbacks and you look at that part of the secondary, obviously Kenny Moore the second is on the top of that list. If we're going to bring anybody into the secondary, might as well be Kenny Moore the second. But just some other names to look at, guys that are available. L'Jarius Sneed, okay, we'll continue to mention that because I hope that happens. I want to keep manifesting that. So let's just hope that somehow, some way, L'Jarius Sneed is able to get moved. We find a way to trade for L'Jarius Sneed. That'd be great. Then if that doesn't happen, right, you have Adoree Jackson who's going to be out there, really good corner. You have Darius Williams, who's surprisingly getting cut by the Jaguars, presumably for the reason that, they want to go young. It's the same thing with the Seahawks and what they're doing with Quandre Diggs. Darius Williams, perfectly good player, and I think they're just cutting him to try to save some money, bring somebody in on their rookie contract that they drafted in the later rounds and don't have to pay a whole lot of money to. That's what that situation seems like to me. Then Chidobe Awuzie, another really good corner available in this free agency. And Shawn Murphy Bunting, who went from Tampa Bay, spent 1 year in Tennessee. That didn't really work out for Tennessee. And then Shawn Murphy Bunting, who did well. He did his part, right? Tennessee wasn't very good, but Shawn Murphy Bunting did what Shawn Murphy Bunting does. Like he's a good football player. He's available this free agency. So we'll see who the Colts want to go spend money on. And this is one where it's more a discussion with you guys. We're going to talk about all these guys. We have time. We're going to talk about all these guys, okay, and more in depth and see if it's really worth it, what the numbers could be like. Okay, I'm going to put the research in. We're definitely going to be talking about these guys. But what I want to know, like, and I'll go through this list again quickly so you don't have to rewind. I want to know of all these guys, who is it that you might want the Colts to try to go after? Okay, so from wide receiver, Curtis Samuel, Marquise Brown, Gabe Davis, Jawan Jennings, Darnell Mooney. From edge rusher, Daniil Hunter, Chase Young, Danico Autry, Jadeveon Clowney. From the secondary, looking at safeties first, Quandre Diggs, Kevin Byard, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Xavier McKinney, Deshaun Elliott, and Julian Blackman. And then for corners, Kenny Moore II, Adoree Jackson, Darius Williams, Chidobe Awuzie, and Shawn Murphy Bunting. So you let me know of all those guys, of all those positions, who do you think the Colts should target that they could realistically bring in? Right, we only have so much cap space. So who should the Colts target? How do you think we should build the team? What should we try to get in the draft? What should we worry about in free agency? You let me know down in the comments section. I'd love to know what your guys' opinions is on this. And that'll kind of guide how we talk about these guys in the future and who we talk about. If there's something you guys are unanimous on, like nobody wants Curtis Samuel, then okay, we won't talk about Curtis Samuel. But I think there's some interesting names here, some things that could be really good in Shane Steichen's offense. That's one part of it that I want everybody to keep in mind is Shane Steichen's offense and what these guys might be able to do in that offense, which is why a guy like Curtis Samuel is on this list for me. So I'd love to know what you guys are thinking about all this. You please let me know down in the comment section. We're going to continue to talk about this. Going to continue to talk about draft stuff. I want to start talking about some stuff from the combine. Haven't really gotten a chance to talk about any of that with you guys. So we're going to get on that. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you get notified when any of those videos do come out. We have content every single day on this channel, even through the off season. Of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.